Hereby Cordials again, and today guys, I'm here to do an anime review. And the anime review is to Twin Star Exorcist Episode 4. Okay guys, as you guys should know, like I said before in my other reviews of Twin Star Exorcist anime, I'm reading the manga. I've been reading the manga before the anime came out. Of course, I'm reading it physically, so I'm not as ahead as other manga readers are. But I'm still ahead of the series because of volume wise. There's quite a few chapters in there, so of course I'll be quite ahead still. But of course I know that possibility sooner or later the anime will surpass my knowledge of Twin Star Exorcist. So, but this episode, let's get to the episode of Twin Star Exorcist episode 4. So guys, in this episode, I give it a bit of it was a lot better compared to its other 3 episodes, a bit better. But I still got my complaints with it, but it's a lot better because it still follows the specific chapter it was based on. And I'm only talking about the chapter, guys. Only the chapter. I'm not talking about the rest of it. But the chapter itself, what it's based on, it's been done actually pretty well, I'd say. There's a team of it out of the original, like Rukuro going to the sweet shop that was never shown in the manga. For this chapter, for what I remember, I need to double check with it. But he went to a sweet shop with where Rukuro and Raigo used to go to get sweets when Rukuro and Raigo were younger, and that's gonna be original there. And also about Rukuro, I don't think it was mentioned in any of the chapters yet, but he has given like a fake talisman to Raigo. Rukuro gave Raigo a fake talisman to tell him you're my servant. You know, a little kid would do that. They would give you're my servant, and pretty much Raigo kept it in emotion. Like, I do feel like they could have added that to the manga. They could have done, and might have made the manga bit even more. They made that chapter even more, like more to the heart. Like, it gave me a lot of feels, of course, that chapter. Unfortunately, I mean, it didn't give me the same much feels to it. But I do say, if they added that talisman to the servant thing to the manga, with Raigo getting the talisman from Rukuro, the fake talisman to the servant from Rukuro, and he kept it for a long time, and Rukuro noticed Raigo had when he's trying to protect Raigo from getting attacked by the cougar. I have said I might make the chapter even more emotional. I would have made it more emotional. Combine the from the manga chapter along with a little bit of anime chapter we saw now. That could have made a very good emotion. The anime could have done that. The anime could have done that. Actually, they could have done that. Of course, we know what the fuck they're gonna do. They were not gonna do that. But yeah, pretty much what this episode is the abduction the disappearance of Raigo, because in the manga and also in the anime, Raigo and the two other exorcists, they go into the house, or where this is the one I feel like that we're gonna skip, because there's the other bad thing. One of the bad things I do say about this episode is that this chapter should have came. Pretty much, it should have came to episode 3. This episode should have been episode 3. There's no denying. This should have been episode 3. Because, first up, Raigo and Bruno go to school begins at volume 2 of the manga. And also near the beginning of volume 2 as well. So, technically, when they go to school, that was in volume 2. And this episode is based on volume 1. So, episode 1 and episode 3 and episode 4 are 2 volumes apart from each other. Yeah, pretty much. They're 2 volumes apart away from each other. So we got a big problem there. That's a problem that this chapter was actually meant to be shown earlier than the episode we had yesterday from last week's episode. But I digress. And also last week's episode was pretty much anime original to begin with. Even though the school scene is pretty much manga related, but that is still connected somewhat to the manga still. So yeah, but still, that's the only big I could say with this episode is just this episode should have been episode 3. This episode should have been episode 3. in my opinion, this should have been episode 3 because of the manga, but I digress. But pretty much, the anime is based on when Raigo disappeared through the house of this cougar that was attacking this couple that was renting this house, and unfortunately Raigo disappeared with the other two was wondering where they went and they tried to find it, but they couldn't find him, so they went back to the dorm to tell Rukuro that what happened, and Rukuro went to Barney to beg her for to bring them back to Mongogo so that they can find Raigo. Now, another bad thing I do say about one thing is different, but I actually say that's alright. It's not big. It's just a little nitpick. But this nitpick I'd say that is a bit more bad is that the point where we find out Raigo disappeared in the manga, we see it as a backstory. We don't see it as a present day scene, because when we do find out that Raigo disappeared is when these two come back from the mission they came from. We know they went on a mission because they actually do show them going to the house and everything. That's already been shown before they come back. But we don't find out Raigo disappearing until they come back to the dorm, and then they tell Rukuro, and that's when they go to the flashback to them going from the dorm and then Raigo disappearing. But that's only a nitpick. That was the only nitpick, that the anime showed the entire thing before they went back to the dorm, which I give it best. Now that's alright. It's alright. But pretty much that the episode was a little better, but like I said, like rushed. Again, it was rushed, and also a bit misplaced, and also this episode should have been episode 3, in my opinion. But this episode was a bit more better to its other episode, so I have to say it is one of its better episodes. But we know the series itself, the anime itself, is not to be the greatest. Like, the manga is very good, but the anime, but like I say, I'm still going to watch and review it because it's based on the manga I'm enjoying. So yeah, and we got now animation quality of this episode. Animation looked very good. Oh yeah, before I actually go into the animation itself, I have to say this, guys. One thing that should have been shown at the end of the episode is a reveal of one of the main enemies of the series. At the end of this chapter, we supposed to see the main enemy, one of the main enemies we see in this episode. And I can't tell you what the enemy is, but I actually have mentioned it a bit. I have mentioned the enemy. I have mentioned the enemy in my other few reviews. I have mentioned it. I actually show you the fucking cover, who the enemy might be, if you guys remember correct. So I gave you like a nitpick spoiler, but the enemy I showed you from those volumes I showed you guys, that enemy should have been shown in this episode at the end. It should have done, because that's how the manga did it. Of course, no. So we're good. So for you not anime only watchers, you have to wait before the enemy is revealed. Oh god, this is gonna be annoying for some of you. But yeah, and yeah, that's what I've got to say. Animation quality looked very good. Fighting scenes, oh my god, that looked so good. I like that animation. But like I said, even though the company does it very bad with pacing and telling the story of a series, its animation quality is still very good, which I do give them the props for when it comes to majority of this, including Tokyo Ghoul, which ever since reading the manga, I do see the bad points, and unfortunately, the anime, like I said, even with the anime itself, I didn't fully enjoy that much of the anime. Surprising. Like, I enjoyed the fucking manga, and I watched the anime first before I read the manga. I didn't enjoy much about the anime, surprising, before I even read the manga. So that just shows you how the manga was better than the anime of Tokyo Ghoul. And especially the same with Twin Star Exorcist. Of course, except I read the manga first before I watched the anime, which this shows you how much I prefer the manga of the anime from what I'm just telling you from my reviews. But yeah, and that's all got to read to say. Anyway guys, that was my anime review to Twin Star Exorcist episode 4. Hope you guys like it, but comment chat fans today. If you guys want to send fan mail, go search down below. My address is there, and yeah. Oh yeah, before I do go guys, I am planning to make a Q&A video. I'm planning to do another Q&A. Now, before I actually start the Q&A, I have done Q&As in the past, but I feel like I should make this a weekly series. I should make this a weekly series. Because I feel like I want to communicate with you guys. I want to freaking communicate. I want to answer all the questions you guys might want to have about me. So guys, I am planning to make a weekly Q&A series. And I want for you guys to decide, what should I call my Q&A? Yes, it's a special name I'm going to call for my Q&A. So pretty much, if you guys, so very much make sure I know it's a question for the Q&A, you guys put the hashtag and the name of the Q&A I'm going to do. So I want you guys to just say what kind of name do you want me to give for the Q&A videos I'm planning to do somewhat in the future. So yeah, but guys, and one of the things you need to figure about, it needs to be based pretty much on you guys. As it's Q&A, I want the name to be based on you guys. What do you want me to call my Q&A? I already call my subscribers Trav Annie fans. You could use the name Trav Annie fans in the name of the Q&A if you want to, but I'm just getting you guys to decide. I'm planning to make a Q&A series, and if you want me to answer any questions, just this is the videos I'm planning to do for. And I am also going to do a video once I actually get the name for the Q&A video series I'm planning to do. I will let you guys decide. I will tell you guys the name I decide to choose out among the people who give me the names for the Q&A series. So if you want to give a name to my Q&A series, just leave in the comments down below so I can read it, so I can judge which name I feel like I can use for my Q&A. And if it ends up only being one day, of course I end up going to use that. So yeah, and I'm planning to make my decision somewhere next week. So I'm planning to make my decision. If there's no names next week, I'm more likely have to figure out. I'm gonna have to wait until people. I have to mention it from other videos. If it's not there names next week, I have to mention next episode, or if I'll make a completely different video about telling you guys I'm planning to make a Q&A series. I don't want you guys to figure out the name for it, but pretty much I want you guys to figure out a name on the Q&A series that I'm planning on doing. So yeah. And of course, I already know a lot of you guys have actually tried to ask me questions. I feel like I need to answer these questions properly on video. I feel like I need to answer these questions on video. Also, guys, how do you want me to do these questions? I really want to know. How would you want me to do my Q&A? As I can do live streams now, how do you want me to do Q&A? Do you want me to do it in a recording, or do you want me to do it as a live stream Q&A? Like, of course, I do mostly try to aim my live streams on the gaming side of it on my channel. But I do say I am gonna do, I will use it if you want me to answer questions like that. And possibility you might talk me on live chat as well, and you want to answer those questions to me. So yeah. Anyway guys, that's all I've got to say. If you guys want to pretty much say anything about so if you guys want to say a name of the specific name of the Q&A I'm going to do, figure out the name you want me to do for my Q&A, just leave in the comments down below, and I will choose the one overall for next week. I will choose what I'm going to use the name for, which name I'm going to use. So yeah, and guys, if you guys like it, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys there. Bye guys!